Update on significant lawsuit against WWE, Cody Rhodes and Fanatics over American Nightmare. Trademark. WWE, Cody Rhodes, and Fanatics have been granted a second extension to respond to a trademark lawsuit filed by Wesley Eisold, frontman of a Boston-based hardcore punk band. The new deadline for the defendants to file their response is now June 7, 2025. Their original deadline was April 7. The lawsuit, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, alleges unauthorized use of the American Nightmare trademark, also the name of Eisold's band. A scheduling conference has been set for July 25 before Judge Andre Birotte Jr. Eisold claims that he and Rhodes reached an agreement in 2021 after the WWE star attempted to trademark the phrase. As part of the alleged deal, Rhodes was permitted to use the term on merchandise, provided it clearly featured his name, image, or wrestling-related elements, comprising at least 75% of the design. Eisold says he received $30,000 as part of the arrangement. However, Eisold now accuses Rhodes, WWE, and Fanatics of violating that agreement by selling American Nightmare apparel that lacks the required identifying features and instead leans heavily into counterculture aesthetics, such as winged skulls and U.S. flag imagery. According to the suit, the similarities have caused consumer confusion, with fans mistakenly believing the merchandise is affiliated with Eisold or his band. Eisold is seeking a jury trial, $900,000 in damages, and an injunction to halt the sale of infringing merchandise. He is also pursuing claims of breach of contract, trademark infringement under federal and California law, and intentional interference with contractual relations. How Cody Rhodes ended racism. With a single wrestling promo, Cody Rhodes is the face of WWE and the most famous star in wrestling at the moment, but his time in the ring hasn't always been so easy. He has spoken often about his failed first run in WWE, including playing the horrendous Stardust gimmick, before he chose to leave the promotion and bet on himself. Cody Rhodes succeeded in doing that and was instrumental in helping create All Elite Wrestling, but despite his fame and talent in the ring, fans eventually turned on the babyface. One of his worst and weirdest moments came during a 2021 episode of AEW Dynamite when the American Nightmare gave a promo about racism ahead of his Double or Nothing match with Anthony Ogogo. Although he meant well, it came off as a white man acting like he was some sort of civil rights activist. Rhodes may have recovered from the incident, but it's something he's still made fun of for to this day. In March 2021, former boxer and Olympian Anthony Ogogo made his AEW debut by attacking Cody Rhodes on Dynamite. Although he didn't have much of a career in AEW, he couldn't have asked for a better start by immediately being put against one of the faces of the company. Sadly, their feud ended up being a dud for multiple reasons. One strange AEW Dynamite segment saw Rhodes and Ogogo stripping down to their underwear for a weigh-in moderated by Paul White. It felt like the worst of WWE and not what AEW was all about. In an interview on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, Anthony Ogogo didn't hold back on his thoughts about the moment, calling it dogs ***T, and adding, "Cody was like, we are not going to touch." I'm like, oh, I have watched enough wrestling to know that that's a bit drab, a bit ***T. He says, nah, it's gonna be cool. It's my third week on TV, I am going to turn up, work hard and do what I am told. Cody Rhodes. Racism. Promo didn't go over well. If that had been the worst of it, so be it, but this boring moment had nothing on the bizarre promo Cody Rhodes cut. The American Nightmare ended up winning the feud by defeating Anthony Ogogo at Double or Nothing, but all anyone remembers are the words that came out of Cody's mouth on the May 12, 2021 Dynamite. Rhodes spoke about how Ogogo, who is from England, was running down America. Cody celebrated America, which has been done countless times in wrestling feuds, but then he went too far when talking about the American dream. He spoke about immigrants coming to the United States, but, with tears in his eyes, followed it up with a history lesson about segregation. Cody said, "There was nothing offensive about the promo, but it came off as cheesy and silly, especially from a white man who was feuding with a black man." Fans were quick to make fun of Rhodes. Look in the comments section for the YouTube video and you'll see a plethora of comments joking about how Cody Rhodes single-handedly ended racism. Cody Rhodes regrets the AEW Dynamite promo right after the promo. In a media call ahead of Double or Nothing, Rhodes told Wrestling Inc.'s Nick Houseman that he wasn't trying to mansplain racism. He talked about being made of by fans and said, in an interview on Wrastlin' with Brandon F. Walker, Cody Rhodes pushes for WWE to induct former superstar into Hall of Fame. Cody Rhodes wants to see his brother honored, and if it were up to him, Dustin Rhodes would have a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame. Many fans have talked for a long time about Rhodes going into the WWE Hall of Fame. They point out that he worked for WWE for over 15 years. Even though he's now working for AEW, which makes it less likely he'll get into the Hall of Fame soon, his brother is still saying he should be honored. Other well-known wrestling people, like Jim Ross and The Undertaker, have also said that Dustin deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. They think Dustin's long career and his unique character, Goldust, made a big impact on wrestling, and I've oftentimes said my brother. I feel like he had more of an important role in the Attitude Era and moving forward. And I think he's extremely talented. I think I'd like to see that not just because I believe he deserves it, which he does, but I'd love to see the family just more added. The Hall of Fame doesn't mean the same to everybody if that makes any sense. To my family, the Hall of Fame is the thing, the title and then the Hall of Fame, Rhodes said in an interview with Fox News. He got over when he started playing Goldust in the WWE. Goldust was a very different character, with a strange and sometimes shocking look and personality. Even though some people thought it was too much, it became popular and helped make wrestling more edgy and exciting during the Attitude Era. He also won important titles like the Intercontinental Championship and different tag team titles during his time in WWE. Later in his career, he moved around to different wrestling companies, including WCW and TNA, and even returned to WWE a few times. More recently, he's been a big part of All Elite Wrestling (AEW), where he still wrestles. Cody Rhodes calls for veteran to receive WWE Hall of Fame induction. Cody Rhodes has discussed the WWE Hall of Fame and how one particular induction would mean a lot to him. A staple of WrestleMania weekend, the Hall of Fame recognizes major names from the wrestling business and wider worlds of sports and entertainment for their contributions to the industry. In 2025, Lex Luger, The Natural Disasters, Michelle McCool and Triple H are all set to be inducted along with the first ever Immortal Moment that will honor the WrestleMania 13 match between Bret Hart and Steve Austin. While many of the biggest names from previous eras have been immortalized as inductees, there are still many acts that fans want to see inducted sooner rather than later. While speaking with Ryan Gaidos of Fox News, Rhodes spoke about what it would mean for his brother Dustin Rhodes to join his father Dusty Rhodes as an inductee, and I've oftentimes said my brother. I feel like he had more of an important role in the Attitude Era and moving forward. And I think he's extremely talented. I think I'd like to see that not just because I believe he deserves it, which he does, but I'd love to see the family just more added. The Hall of Fame doesn't mean the same to everybody if that makes any sense. To my family, the Hall of Fame is the thing, the title and then the Hall of Fame. My dad going in was such a huge deal. So, I'd love to see him joined by my brother. But yeah, Randy is somebody I've been thinking about a lot too. We got a lot of hopefully future Hall of Famers with us. Dusty Rhodes was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007. Cody Rhodes looks ahead to WrestleMania 41. On April 20th, Rhodes will put the Undisputed Championship on the line against John Cena, who turned heel at Elimination Chamber by attacking the American Nightmare. During the same interview, Cody Rhodes gave his unique perspective on the upcoming